Hi there, welcome to Homekeepers. Comrade Arthelene, my friends, so glad to be here today with you, and wherever you are, wherever you're watching, it's wonderful to have this connection. Program's a little bit different today, and I have a friend of many years back with me, Dr. John Young, and he is the founder of Young Foundational Help. To those who haven't met you, I think you have one of the most interesting stories to be an MD. I'm going to give you a little info. You can elaborate.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Well, you were emergency room doctor for 15
Right.
years. Boy, I think you'd have to be on your toes for that. Might be interesting if you ever cataloged every kind of thing you had to confront. But you also did medical work in missions.
Right.
And had you done the medical work here before that?
I did it through part of my training and then went back. But the medical missions, I was talking to someone about this earlier today, really did make me as a doctor. And I would not be the same doctor I am today. I think if I'd been the traditional route and not exposed to really the abject
Or an open
poverty,
mind.
or an open mind of the other systems, the British system, that I would not be as near as good as physician. And it was that really got me thinking, you know, there's other ways to treat these diseases, and what about trying to get to the root of it? So the missionary, the overseas stuff, you know, God opened that door, and it really did change me.
Because up to that point, it was surgery, pharmaceuticals, shots, whatever, and it dawned on you that maybe some of the things that come out of the earth that God made and all this that could have a different, I mean, what's wrong with combining the two?
That's what I said. And I think American medicine is great for the acute problem, but for long-term diseases, treatments, I'm not there yet. And the other thing is, if you looked at the old-time doctors, a lot of the scripts they wrote 100 years ago were very natural substances. So it's hard to get away from the basics.
Yeah, I remember you say you like to look up and see what the old guys
Right.
did. And also, I remember how hard I laughed the first time you said, when he was in Africa, the witch doctor was having better success. And so you asked, was one of the natives, and said, you know, why are you going there? And said, well, I don't get better with you.
Yeah, I brought in the latest, greatest for medicine for blood pressure, and he never followed up. And then he told me, I can't be on pills all my life. I'm in the middle of the jungle. So I went to the witch doctor. He gave me something to drink. I'm fine. It did bug me, but that's why I went into medicine, was to get people better, not kind of prolong their life and with a little bit of medicine for the rest of their life, which is getting more and more expensive.
And when we started on this route, well, we've always had medicine, I guess, from the beginning, but when the pharmaceuticals began to really come in rapidly for anything and everything, hangnails and toenails and everything else, that was supposed to be intermediate. It wasn't supposed to be the rest of your life, but that's the way a lot of the pharmaceuticals are prescribed today.
Well, they've got to make money, so the longer you're on it, the better it is. And look at the statin drugs. I mean, you know, so I really rebelled against that because, like I said, I went into medicine to get people better, not just, well, here's your 50th year of, you know, whatever drug you've been on.
And they're getting more expensive all the time. But the right approach really is what's needed. And so if you need a pharmaceutical, it's there. But also, I have watched, as long as I've known you, I've watched this transition. Now, we're going to talk about a product called Fruit of the Spirit today. Some of you already know about it, and I can't believe, because we were with it from the beginning, but it's about 10 years old now.
And you haven't aged one bit.
Oh, thank you. So this is different than any of the other kind of health drinks you take and all that. Tell us why. Now, I will tell you the genesis of it was my friend Craig Keelan, and I'm not spiritualizing this, please know that. But he was sitting in church, and he thought, what if you just went through the Bible and saw what was in there that comes out of the ground and put it together? That was kind of the idea. And so when you got it, you saw the value, and really the hard one might have been Deborah Ray.
Right.
Now, my audience knows Deborah Ray, and she's an absolute expert on health, and so they presented to her, and she told me she didn't want to like it because somebody like her, they want her stamp of approval on it. You know, she had a radio show and a TV show, but she said it is the best, the finest.
A couple things. One is it tastes good. There is very low sugar.
And none of that is added.
And I'm using this with a lot of my diabetics. There's tons of minerals, and they use Dead Sea minerals. Most of my patients are very low in minerals. The American public is low in minerals. Our food doesn't have much minerals. The other thing is that what makes it really unique is this. It's the whole fruit. And when I say whole fruit, I mean seed, pulp, skin. And as you study this, you realize the skin offers certain like antioxidant properties, only found in the skin. The pulp has certain properties found only in the pulp. The seed has certain properties. And this is the only thing out there that is the whole thing.
That is so impressive, and it really does taste good. My grandson just loves it. Now, there's another gentleman involved, and his name is Dr. Mark Pedersen. I've had the privilege to interview him a few times, and he is absolutely #1 in understanding herbs and minerals. He is on site whenever this is made. He's right there, and he observes it, he tastes it, he checks everything. He checks the color, and he is involved in exactly when it's harvested. Now, where did most of these things come from?
Well, from all over the world. The interesting thing about the harvesting is this. The Indians, they went to use a lot of the roots to get their medicine because in the roots are these glycoproteins and a lot of the really things that really make a difference. It's in the last 72 hours as a fruit ripens that you start to see all these things rise up into the fruit. But, you know, you go to the store, and listen, those bananas were not picked at the peak of ripeness. The peaches were not picked. So it's when you pick it, it's got to be very close to, you know, peak. And it is the whole fruit. And I can't emphasize that enough. And I'll tell you, we have a lot of patients and a lot of people from around the U.S. just saying, I just can't go without it.
And that's where it stands alone.
Right.
A lot of them have juice, they have some water added to it, and perhaps a little sugar. This, as he's emphasized, the entire fruit includes the seeds, it includes the skin, and minerals from the Dead Sea. Most of these are kind of around that Middle East area.
Right. You know, it's great that we're drinking a lot of water. I had a patient say, I go through 4 or 5 water bottles a day. Our food doesn't have that many minerals. And I go, well, check, and a lot of times their mineral content is always very low. So we were washing them out. And so the more minerals I get into a patient, I found lately, if I just give them electrolytes, hey, I feel better. Because we are very low mineral content in the U.S., and this makes a huge difference.
Yes, I think it's getting worse.
It is getting worse.
It's getting worse because they're messing with the genes and so forth.
Well, when we put a person on a low-salt diet, we do need sodium just to make the pumps work in the cell to get rid of waste.
When you begin to shift from what I would call the regular American type medicine, did you feel a little, I wonder if I'm doing the right thing?
Oh, sure. And you know, I had, you know, my sisters tell me I'm an idiot, you know, and I had other doctors saying you can't do that. But, you know, God brought different people into my life to encourage me to keep going. And here's the thing. People got better, and then people started telling others. And then after a while, I even had doctors come to me more late in the afternoon when no one saw them. Listen, I've got a problem. You've helped my other patients. Can you help me? I want to get off my medicines. And so God's really blessed us with that. And as one doctor said, John, we kind of think of you as the Dr. House of Pinellas County. If we can't figure him out, we send him to you.
I've watched this over the years as I've known him. And we want to show you a way that you can get this. All you have to do is go to the 800 number, and all this information is coming up on the screen right now. Why don't you get a pencil and write it down, and as you watch the rest of the program, you might want to order some.
With literally thousands of health-enhancing products to choose from, there is one so excellent, so superior and exceptional, it easily stands out from all the rest. Fruit of the Spirit offers a combination of 13 biblical fruits, 3 biblical herbs, and 9 minerals from the Dead Sea. Just 1 ounce of this antioxidant energizing fruit puree provides a powerful source designed to deliver the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. There are no chemicals in Fruit of the Spirit. It has been formulated by world-renowned doctors and scientists and then flash frozen by aseptic sterilization, thus maintaining the highest level of purity and integrity. You can begin your quest for better health right now by calling the number on your screen. Yes, it really is that simple. Have your credit or debit card available when you call. Let this be the day you take a giant step toward vibrant health. Call now.
I hope you made note of that, and as you learn more about this product, I think you probably might be interested in trying it. I mentioned Dr. Mark Pedersen earlier with Dr. Young here, and he can attest that he's just one of the smartest people you'd ever want to meet. He's written big books on herbology and very much understands mineral content and how it's all supposed to fit together. And I had a wonderful opportunity to talk to him about this, and I just tell you, it's just thrilling to sit down with someone who's so knowledgeable. So I want you to, kind of meet him and see what he had to say when he was here with me not too long ago.
First things we did, because we used not juices. There's a bunch of juices that are on the market. You can buy acai, you can buy noni juice, all that kind of stuff. Juices are the extract. They don't have any of the antioxidant power. The real claim to fame for the Fruit of the Spirit is it has 5 servings of fruits and vegetables in it. Now, most of us get 1.5 a day. And one of those is ketchup, because we go to the fast food.
That's your tomato, right?
Yeah. And so we really need those antioxidants in the form of whole fruits and vegetables. So we make whole fruit purees. We got them from all over the world. And we had to manage a whole bunch of different things. For example, we don't use alfalfa hay, but if you look at alfalfa hay and they cut it, it starts out green and 2 days later it's brown. So all the antioxidant potential is gone in 2 days. Many of our fruits are the same way. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to harvest them, and we can only harvest them twice a year. Products available 365 days a year. So how do you get it from the plant and the living being into a bottle and preserve the essence? And so we went through some flash freezing process, some freeze drying process, some whole fruit grinding and maceration. We wanted to keep the seed and the skin, everything that was the essence of the plant.
So the seeds and the skin and the
that sounds,
everything is in this.
It doesn't sound palatable, but we made it palatable.
It's palatable.
It's so smooth, you're not going to get that pulpy taste that a lot of people don't like.
And Dr. Pedersen is always there when the Fruit of the Spirit, all the ingredients come together, put together. It's a great big factory. That's the first place I met him, I believe, because I flew out there to watch it being packaged, basically, and it was very, very impressive. And he is the one that says it's good or it's not. We've got to improve it, and that should make you feel good if you want this product, to know that there's someone like that who knows it so well, and he's sitting at that when it's made, and he checks everything, including the flavor and the color and everything, to make it just perfect. So go with me to California and let's watch Fruit of the Spirit being packaged. What an adventure was waiting for me when I traveled to Aseptic Solutions in Corona, California, where I watched the split-second process used to create Fruit of the Spirit. We felt rather small gazing at giant drums holding thousands of gallons of the ingredients that make up Fruit of the Spirit. This product is actually flash frozen in only 3, that's right, I said 3 seconds. This fact cannot be overemphasized because that 3-second process guarantees the full strength of the antioxidants and minerals contained in the powerful ingredients that make up Fruit of the Spirit. Thousands of bottles were quickly filled, labeled, and prepared for shipment. I personally checked one bottle as it rolled past, and I can verify that it was extremely cold to the touch. In just a matter of minutes, the product was boxed and on its way to the thousands who now benefit from the energizing ingredients contained therein. So we left thankful. Thankful for one more great learning experience and confident that just as we thought, Fruit of the Spirit is excellent in every way. It's superior.
It's an easy way to get in all those fruits and vegetables.
After just 2 or 3 months, you feel better. I think it does give me a better quality of life.
But this, for me, I think overall, it tastes good and it does what it's supposed to do for me.
And it's really brought the blessing of feeling good for longer periods of time during the day.
This is what you can trust that will be bringing to you the very things to preserve the health that God is so wonderfully blessing us with.
And including the alkaline minerals, which are so rare and hard to come by and to ingest in a tasty way.
Fruit of the Spirit is the miraculous discovery of unique natural fruits and minerals blended into a refreshing drink. Now you can experience the blessing of Fruit of the Spirit for yourself.
With literally thousands of health-enhancing products to choose from, there is one so excellent, so superior and exceptional, it easily stands out from all the rest. Fruit of the Spirit offers a combination of 13 biblical fruits, 3 biblical herbs, and 9 minerals from the Dead Sea. Just 1 ounce of this antioxidant energizing fruit puree provides a powerful source designed to deliver the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. There are no chemicals in Fruit of the Spirit. It has been formulated by world-renowned doctors and scientists and then flash frozen by aseptic sterilization, thus maintaining the highest level of purity and integrity. You can begin your quest for better health right now by calling the number on your screen. Yes, it really is that simple. Have your credit or debit card available when you call. Let this be the day you take a giant step toward vibrant health. Call now.
Well, you know, you can get a lot of information about so many things, but there's nothing like a good testimony. That's really kind of clinches everything. You know, whether you're in church or whether it's a product that you're considering, when you talk to somebody else who's used it, that very often is the convincing thing. So we've been telling you about this wonderful product and how it really stands alone. It's in a class all by itself. And I'm pleased to welcome to Homekeepers Tina Stevens, and she's my testimony. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. I will say that you've been a hairdresser for 22 years.
22 years.
And I don't know how many people realize it, but it's hard work.
It is. Backbreaking.
It's very hard work. I have a good friend who's done it for 40 years, and she's really had some health problems. Besides, a lot of the clients unload all their burdens on you.
Yes, psychiatrists.
The hairdressers are the greatest psychologists in the world. I guess your clients thinks, well, she's not going to tell anybody.
Right.
So you're the one person we can talk to. You've been taking this for 10 years?
10 years.
So
yes.
When it first came out, you started?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I started taking it, and then I started giving it to my children, my husband. I even give it to my dog.
Yes, and the dog has a testimony.
Yes.
Next time, bring the dog. But,
I will.
what was it that told you really needed something?
Well, I've been vegan for about 3 years. Before that, I was always worried about not getting enough fruits and vegetables, nutrients and minerals in my diet. And I knew by taking the Fruit of the Spirit, I knew I was getting those 5 servings of fruits and vegetables and all the minerals that I needed as a vegan. I also loved it to give it to my children. They don't like to take anything. They don't like the taste of anything. This is the only thing that they will take.
It tastes very good.
So yummy.
Very good, yeah.
It is delicious, and I never get a complaint from them to take it.
Well, I laughed at your testimony that your 11-year-old Labrador had a good blood test.
She did. She just got her blood work back, and everything was flying
I
colors.
don't think I've ever had a dog that had blood work.
So why'd you give it to the dog?
She actually waits for me to put it in her food. She won't eat her food until I go to the refrigerator. I have to shake the bottle and put it in, and then she'll eat it. She wasn't eating her food before. So I said, well,
Is
let
she
me just try
livelier
it.
now?
She is so lively. She's like a puppy. She's 11 years old, but you'd think that she's a puppy.
Well, probably on another program we'll talk about your shake. But my daughter had a dog that was really drooping, little Pekingese. And she put together something like that, and he came right back to life.
Within weeks, literally within 2 weeks, I noticed
Now,
a difference.
a lot of women can really relate to this. You had hormones and hot flashes.
Yes, I hit menopause at 44. So I didn't want to take any pills. I don't like swallowing pills. I needed something liquid. It helped me tremendously with the hot flashes and any symptoms that I had with the menopause. It helped me tremendously. And then I didn't have to take any medication.
I'm sure that would be good news for a lot of women. A lot of women suffer when they go through menopause.
Absolutely.
It can be very extreme. I've had them on the show.
Mine was very minimal, very minimal, and I know it was because of the fruit of the
Now, how
spirit.
much do you take?
I take 1 ounce in the morning and 1 ounce at night.
And you've done that for 10 years.
10 years. The kids, I do 1 ounce a day for them, but it varies. My dog, I do 2 ounces a day.
I'm not believing this. Kids get 1 ounce a day.
The dog gets 2 ounces.
There's something wrong with this. We'll work it out after the program. Okay. Dr. Young, just address the hot flashes and the hormone levels that can really make women so miserable.
All right. I do think that, we have medical records from years ago, 100 years ago and all of that. And you didn't see the wagon train stopping because half the women had, PMS and whatever. And it really wasn't much in the literature. The one thing that I have found that if I can get enough minerals into a patient, there's a very good chance they're going to do pretty good. Because here's the idea. It's, Myers, who's one of my mentors at Johns Hopkins years ago, said this: the body needs 8 essential minerals. From those minerals, it can make any mineral it needs. It needs sodium and potassium to make water-soluble ionized calcium. You don't need to take it. The body can make it. And it's minerals. And I just see that we are so mineral deficient. I think Deborah Ray said once, 95% of Americans are deficient in magnesium. Most Americans are deficient in iodine. Any woman with fibrocystic breast disease, ovarian cysts, don't think of surgery, think of iodine deficiency. We've taken iodine out of our salt. We put bromine in our bread, which wipes out iodine. And I really do think that a lot of this hormonal stuff is really, you go back to mineral deficiency.
It's interesting because I'm such a layman on this. I never went to med school. I'm sure that's surprising to all of you. But I noticed that Dr. Pedersen, Deborah Ray, and you major on talking about those minerals. And they come out of the Dead Sea.
Right. The body's really it's an electrical
system?
Yes, system. And then here's the thing. Without the minerals, you cannot get positive, negative charges, things like that. And you end up with hydrogenated oils, you take the charges off a cell membrane. So, we're an electrical system. We need minerals to maintain that system.
I think it's quite interesting that you've been very consistent with this for 10 years. A lot of people, they'll start something, and then they quit. And as you understand, our food supply is getting worse all the time. And as Americans become aware of this, you're gonna have to supplement somewhere.
Absolutely, and you need to. With the diet and the way people eat today, you have to have something to supplement it.
The family no longer, as a habit, sit down together with. I know we always kind of had meat and some vegetable, and we, now they go through the drive-through and bring a sack home.
And a lot of that's just dead food. And it drives me crazy when I see studies saying we don't need minerals, we don't need vitamins. A lot of this food we're eating is dead. It's been nuked to death in the microwave. And I look at when I'm overseas, and a lot of the diseases that we see here, the diabetes, the heart disease, I don't see overseas. The PMS, I don't see it much overseas, but much higher mineral content in their food versus here in the U.S.
And as they take on the American diet,
No.
it starts to go downhill. Now, if you just tuned in, we've been talking about this wonderful product called Fruit of the Spirit. There's an 800 number at the bottom of your screen. The price is there and all. So if you've really kind of tuned into what we've been talking about and it sounds interesting, you might want to try a bottle of this, and that's the information that you need. It's the 800 number, and they'll take all of your information, and kind of goes out of your office, doesn't it?
Goes out of our office.
Pronto.
And, very quickly. Quick and easy.
And I'd like to assure, and just absolutely assure people, it tastes good.
Delicious.
Sometimes these things just leave an aftertaste.
Because I think the way Pedersen put it together, when at peak ripeness and the minerals that are there, it makes a big difference. The U.S. Department of Agriculture said recently, a peach grown in the 1940s had this mineral equivalent. For a peach grown today, to get the same mineral equivalent, you need about, I think it's a half a bushel of peaches to get the same mineral equivalent. And
I believe you. I'm a preacher's daughter, and they had a parsonage. I grew up in parsonages. And the backyard, it's in Colorado, it had a peach tree, plum tree. It had 3 peach trees, plum tree, and a crabapple tree. And I can't tell you the joy of pulling a peach fully ripe, just sitting under the tree and eating. We didn't wash it. I don't think it had any fertilizer or anything on it. It was delicious, and you're absolutely right. It tastes nothing like the peaches you buy in the store today, and I think that's pretty sad. But we've come up with something that can be very, very beneficial to you. I hope that you have listened to what we've had to say. You'll think it over. The 800 number is still there. And you might have a good testimony like Tina. We would like to hear it. We would like very, very much to hear it. So I want to thank you for paying attention to this. It's a product that I totally believe in, and I believe it would be beneficial to you. And I also know, friend, there's no higher calling than that of a homekeeper. God bless you.
If you should miss a Homekeepers program, you can catch up by going to www.ctnonline.com. Click on CTN Programs and then on Homekeepers.